Ahoy mateys! Today we'll do a little bit of the art of saute. Now a couple of key things to keep in mind here. First of all, a good skillet. Now I've got these skillets here, and now if you look at this one, you see how this has got a little bit of a bevel to it? This end is straight. Well, this is the side we want. And you know, you may look at this and say, well, that's a square skillet. How are you going to saute in that? Very easily, I'll show you. So when we're using these skillets, we want to make sure that the sloped end is open here for us. The next thing is we want to use a good quality oil for sauteing. You want the pan to be hot before you put your ingredients in. Now we're going to saute onions and then we're going to saute mushrooms, and they saute a little bit differently. A good olive oil or canola oil, but we're going to use clarified butter because it has a higher smoke point, 480 some degrees, so we're going to be able to get that pan pretty hot before we throw our vegetables in there to saute. Well, I've already cut our vegetables up. We're just going to use some sliced onions, and then two ways on the mushrooms. One, kind of a nice little appetizer or good with steak, and then the sliced. The reason I want to show you those two is they do saute a little bit differently. The key with mushrooms is you want that oil to be hot and that pan to be hot. You don't want to steam the mushrooms, you want to saute the mushrooms. So now I've got my pan here. Let's see if that's getting hot enough yet. Kind of give it a little spritz test. Okay, that didn't spritz up. We're not quite hot yet. All right, let's test that again. Just a little spritz. There, you see how that's starting to bubble right up? We'll clear that out. Gonna add our clarified butter. Again, let it get good and hot. There we go. We'll add our onions. And let the food sit there for a minute. Don't start playing with it right away. Now I'm going to play with it a little bit just to get everything broken up here. There we go. While we're waiting for that, might as well take a sip of this. One of the keys here in any saute, let it sit a little bit. Don't be playing all day with it. Now we're starting to brown a little bit. Whoops. Well, I got a little carried away there, didn't I? There we are. Now you see that's starting to brown nicely. Just give it a little bit of a flip. Let that continue to work. Now see, by using the clarified butter, we're able to get a good heat on this, but yet not burn it. Now the onions are starting to become a little translucent. That's one way of doing them. We could call them done right now. Now if you want a little bit more robust flavor, we're going to let them brown a little bit longer. This whole process is taking about 3.5 minutes. You can see we're starting to get a nice brown here. Oh, look at that nice golden color. So anywhere that you like it, you could pull this off and call it done. I'm going to let them go just a little bit longer to give them a little more robust flavor with that caramelizing of the onion here. Well, our pan is still nice and hot from the onions. I'm going to put a little bit more clarified butter in here, and we're going to do our mushrooms next. Oh, I guess I didn't do that good a job of clarifying. It shouldn't be sparkling like that, but all right. Now with our mushrooms, the goal here is to caramelize them again. And the high heat will evaporate the water that's coming out of these so that they actually saute rather than steam. Again, don't play with that. Let them sit there, let them do their job. You can kind of see how the moisture is just evaporating instantly from this. You see, let me grab this one here for you. Come on. There you see, nice and brown. That's what we want with these mushrooms. These mushrooms and that onion is going to be really good on steak. All right, now we're done with the sliced mushrooms. Now we're going to do almost like a mushroom cap. But our little chunk mushrooms, oh, this is really nice. The skillet is nice and hot. And you see the butter, the clarified butter is not smoking. We're going to add our mushrooms. Again, we want them to work. Just let them sit there a little bit. Let them do their job. This is a nice hot skillet now. Oh, and if you were going to use garlic in this, which I probably should have, you put the garlic in with the butter, brown the garlic a little bit first. That way it soaks into everything. Oh, these are caramelizing nice. Just going to kind of flip them around on their sides here. This is a great appetizer, hot or cold. It only takes a couple of minutes on these. And what we're going to do, because we're using them as an appetizer, we're going to put a little bit of wine in here with it. And let that completely evaporate or reduce. You see there? Look at that, guys. Oh man. Sauteed mushrooms for an appetizer. And you see how easy that is to flip things with this, even though it's a square skillet, the way they've designed this with that angle in the back, boom, easy to do. Well, there you have it, guys, the art of saute. Apply those principles to just about any foods that you want, you'll have a great time. Bon appetit.